I have not met anyone in my entire career as disciplined as he is.
He's the hero, like he's like a household name, you know what I mean? Not just, you don't have to be a WWE fan to know who John Cena is.
He always treated everybody with respect. If he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it.
He's the hero, hustle, loyalty, respect, like all these things. John is very much like the quintessential pro in that, like, look, I have my thoughts on things, but whatever you want me to do, I will give you 1,000%, and I will do that to the best of my ability. Like, I just play a character named John Cena, but he doesn't have, like, he's not, like, overly concerned about the stakes of it or anything else, right? Even with his movie career, just wide open to it.
John's also very, very disciplined. I mean, I have not met anyone in my entire career as disciplined as he is. I mean, here's a guy that literally, if he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it.
Could you give us an example?
We would fly to Australia, and those are 15-hour flights. Like, we do a Monday Night Raw in L.A., and we would fly straight into Australia, and we'd land at 11 in the morning. By the time you get a baggage and customs and everything, it's a little after 12. 45-minute bus ride to the hotel. By the time you get into your room, it's at 1. You got to leave for the building at 4 p.m. because the shows are earlier. So you've got about 2.5 hours to, go to the bathroom, take a shower, get ready to rock and roll for the show. John would pay for his own van to pick him up at the airport to take him to the gym because he knew he had to get a workout in. Even on that flight. And we've already been on the road for 7, 8, 9 days before we've gone on this tour. He always made the gym. He always treated everybody with respect. He knew everybody's name. He talked to everybody from cameraman to sound people to the T-shirt guys. Like, John acknowledged everybody and outworked everybody. And he never was confrontational about it. He never lost his cool. He never got into, oh yeah. That's not John's MO. John's MO is literally like a giant snowplow. He puts his head down and he does the work, and he doesn't seek accolades. He doesn't seek praise. He just works. And he's just one of the only people ever, and he's solid.
When we talked, he was like, look, if you, over the next, whatever it was, 10, 12 months, if you want me to lose every match, it's fine with me. You want me to win every match, it's fine with me. You want me to be champ again, it's fine with me.
And is that rare in a wrestler to be that?
Like one-off rare.
Really?
You know what I mean? Very, very rare that you get that. Especially at that level, because you're protective of what you've built.
Yeah.
John is very great with pitches. He sort of lets you get all the way to the end. He doesn't say much. He just listens. And then when you get all the way to the end, he was like, wow.
And what are you pitching on a call like that?
Turning him. Exactly what happened.
What will happen fight to fight, event to event?
No, but exactly what happened at Elimination Chamber, right? Which bad guys have to be justified in the why. Doesn't have to, it has to make sense. It can be skewed to like, well, that makes sense. I don't agree with that. I think he's wrong. I don't agree with it. But I see how he could think that, right? So, in John's mind, for 20 plus years now, I've done everything the right way. Yet you've told me I suck. Yet you've booed me. Yet you've said I'm Super Cena. I can't wrestle. I only have 5 moves. I that. Like all the things that he's overcome for 25 years, you can now flip that on them and be bitter because in your last run, in your desire to have one last big successful run, I know my time is running out, and if I'm going to do this, I might not be as good as I used to be. I might not be as fast. I might not be as strong. I might not be as good of a performer. So I have to sell myself out. I have to cheat. I have to do things that I wouldn't have done the rest of my career because of hustle, loyalty, respect. I wouldn't have done those things, but now I will because I'm desperate in my last hours. It makes sense from a character. So when we go through that and John and I talk about it and John is like, wow, I didn't think that's where you were going to go with this. That's bold, but I fucking love it. And he was like, I love it because I could be safe and I could be easy and I could come in and I could phone this in and just do my greatest hits and move on, or I can be challenged. This is challenging to me. This is a juicy role. Like, this is me now. Like, how do I make these people hate me? And how and who knows? By December, does he see the light and become a good guy again? Maybe. Does he retire as a bad guy? He's wide open.
What does The Rock think about it?
He loves it. John resonates like Rock does beyond our business. Like, he's like a household name. You know what I mean? Not just, you don't have to be a WWE fan to know who John Cena is or The Rock is. So, I told this story the other day where, my mother-in-law's in the cabinet for the U.S. At the White House, and she was at the State of the Union, and she called me afterwards, and she's like, I'm leaving the State of the Union. As I'm walking out, like, there's reporters there, and one reporter yells over, Linda, as the Secretary of Education, can you tell me what were you thinking when John Cena turned heel? And I'm thinking, like, this is what they're yelling in the Capitol.
When two worlds collide.
Yeah.
The American presidency and WWE.
It's craziness.
Yeah. I was fortunate enough when I put the U.S. title on John, Vince came to me. I was the U.S. champion. Somebody screwed up somewhere, and they ended up putting the U.S. title on me because somebody else got in trouble. So I was the U.S. champion for a while. And he comes to me, Vince comes to me, he says, we're going to take the U.S. title off you. Man, who do you want to work with? And I'm like, I'll work with Cena. And he goes, how's he going to beat you? I said, he's strong. He'll beat me with his finish. I think he called it the FU then. I said, he'll beat me with his FU. He goes, no, he can't pick you up. I said, the hell he can.
This is a paid advertisement by BetterHelp. I had a bit of a realization on one of the podcasts recently that we expect men to open up, but most of us have never actually been taught how to do that. We're told to just get on with it. Just keep moving, keep performing, don't make a fuss. And then at some point in your life, someone tells you to talk more, and you're thinking, yeah, but I don't know how to do that. And I have had so many moments like this where I feel something building that no one sees, pressure, stress. You can't put your finger on what it is. You certainly can't say it out loud. And that was the thing that really landed for me recently in a conversation. It's not that men don't want to talk, it's that they don't always have the words to say what they need to say. And that's where something like therapy can change everything. We want to encourage men to say it louder and get comfortable opening up. It gives you a space to slow down, to understand what's going on, to actually learn how to express how you're feeling properly. So when life feels overwhelming, I know that therapy can help. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/performance. That's betterhelp.com/performance.
So we went to the ring, and I got out a crash pad, and I had John hit me with his finish. And everybody was freaked out because nobody picked me up back then, and John's like a machine. And so I put John over for that. And I just thought it was good business because I saw how hard John was working. Like, John stayed on the road 60, 70 days in a row. Like, guys were flying home. John didn't have a family. John stayed on the road. He'd take the rental car to the next town. He would do local radio, local TV, promote the shows coming up. He just stayed on the road. Like, they had to tell him, no, you need to go home. He had that kind of work because he wanted to be successful. He had a vision. This is what he wanted to do. This is all he wanted to do, was be a pro wrestler. He had the opportunity. He literally maximized every opportunity that they gave him. He took in a very voracious way that I've never seen any talent ever do. And so I'm happy to put the title on him. Good for him. Let him rock and roll. Years later, we're in Peru. And WrestleMania is coming up. I think we were there in January, and we got off the plane and we're on the bus going to the hotel. I said, hey, I don't know if you know, John, but I don't have an opponent for WrestleMania, and I'm pretty good at taking finishes. So if you need an opponent. And he looked at me and smiled and just gave me the nod. We got back on the bus that night to go to the arena. He says, hey, it's going to be me, you, and Edge at WrestleMania. It's going to be a triple threat. And thank you for what you did for me at WrestleMania 20 when you put the U.S. title. He remembered me. Like, that's class.
Yeah.
He put a really good payday in my pocket for WrestleMania that he didn't have to do. That nor was I expecting a return on that investment or favor, but that just shows the kind of character and duty he was. He remembered that. The only thing he did is he did break my balls a little bit. He says, listen, I'm gonna AA you and Edge at the same time. He says, I need you to be under 450. Can you get under 450 for me? Because Edge can't lose any more weight. And I'm like, for you, yes. And I came in that day at 446. He says, okay, we're good. I can do both of you then. That was he had worked it out in the gym what the weight was to do both of us, and I had to be under 450.
I love the intricacy of sort of these conversations that are, because you imagine in your head as a wrestling fan, you're sitting watching it and you think, man, this must have been like multiple production meetings and loads of conversations and contract negotiations and all this drama. And the reality is, you did something for him years before and said one word to him, and it ended up impacting what happened.
Nor did I say that. I was making a joke.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Because he at the time was John Cena, the biggest star in the company. Like, hey, hey, buddy, let me just throw my name in the hat. And then it did the whole angle with Edge and Vicky and all that, and it was great. And I had nothing going on. And that gave me an opportunity to be on TV, shot some life in my character, and I got a great WrestleMania main event.
And you said a payday. Would you earn more if you were more central to the story?
Main event at WrestleMania? Yeah. That's a pretty good payday.